Yes.
Did you ever decide on your wolf's name?
Yeah. I did just a little while ago. I got to find out where I put it. Nyx, NYX.
All right. So Nyx the wolf. All right. So, um, Kara has been away for the last few months. You hadn't seen her since you all got back to Orth. And you're still at the keep at Ostwerk. You're staying in the guest quarters, guests of Armin Kelbach, the keep's castellan, the big bronze dragonborn that you met on your first trip out. Daria is still dealing with and negotiating between those two annoying factions outside the keep, wanting that machine. You've heard some curious words, the words Blackmore device, spoken a few times. So, Kara, you have arrived at the keep after many, many, many days of travel from the north. Um, and you bear news that a giant army is marching southward toward Verbabank. Um, and that army has the standard of a grinning skull, which is the sign of Ayuz, the Lord of Pain, who is a demigod who rules a kingdom to the north. So, Kara, you've got your companion wolf Nyx. Tell us what you look like now.
So Kara has. Oh, hold on one second. Okay, sorry, I was trying to get over to my Roll20. So Kara has kind of lost the monk outfit that she was wearing, and as well as has short hair instead of the long hair. So she's definitely kind of rugged, wearing lots of animal fur since I was living in the north,
Mm-hmm.
and definitely has a different aura about her than which what we saw last time.
Yes. All right, so the guards at the keep are like, "You there? What do you want?"
I wish to see if Master Lord Arius is in.
All right, well, you just wait here. He eyes your wolf, Nyx, suspiciously. You wait here and we'll go fetch him, see if he wants to talk to you. What's the name?
Tell him that Kara has returned.
Very good. All right, so Trell. Um, there are a number of interesting horses here. Uh, they are all pretty happy, pretty pleasant. You know that there is a dwarf named Donovan who uh, really springs for the good feed. So they're like, if you ever need food, ask the dwarf. Yes. Yes. All right, so you have that orb of golden dragon control. Um you sense that it is a very powerful artifact and that it would in fact, it's one of those things that strikes you as incredibly dangerous. That Yes. Actually, yeah, in some of your lore, you have, in fact, uh, found out that there was a mage named Acerarak who created these orbs of dragonkind. And at one point, he was their merciless slave master on Earth. Um, he is dead and buried in a tomb far to the west of here. Okay. All right. So that um the literature basically says the orbs of dragonkind were scattered upon the death of Acererak. Um, Nations warred for them. Entire kings would give up their thrones to own one. Okay, excellent. All right, so you notice one of the guards is making a pretty good run toward Arius's quarters. No. Okay. All right, so you're talking with the horses. Varg,
Yes.
Carr has found himself the best little pond just inside the keep. It is filled with carp.
Ah, fantastic.
So, what are you doing as presumably Carr is doing what comes naturally with the carp?
He's gonna kind of say like he's more or less just like sitting on the edge of the shore playing around the with his short bow a little bit because he's kind
Okay.
of in pondering of the fact that this short bow it was given to him when he was very young. It's his first bow ever, and it used to be a long bow, but then as he got bigger, he obviously got shorter. Um, and he's like looking at the carvings on it that he's made and pondering if he should be using it anymore, considering he's only been using this new bow he's gotten um, and kind of like sits it down, twiddles around with a bit of an arrowhead, and
Okay.
just ponders the big questions in life and his child and his puphood,
Okay.
and debates whether or not he should
All
go
right.
visit his family again because the pups should be like opening their eyes soon.
Oh, yes. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So, Arius, what are you up to here at the keep?
Arius is writing letters and dispatches concerning himself with the humans that were freed from slavery and the I can't remember the jackal people and their integration into the kingdom.
Oh, the Knolls. Yes.
Yes, he's keeping his word to ensure that they are given land to settle on.
Oh,
Yeah.
kobolds. Yes. Sorry. Okay. No. No. I was thinking of the only other person here in your quarters is Ripfang, who is who he they gave him he managed to talk them into giving him the second nicest room in the keep. Obviously, as a noble of the kingdom of Verbabank, you get first dibs, and he is working on a song with his lute. He's like, what rhymes with disembowel?
What are you on about?
Oh no, I was just trying to write a song about your wonderful magical skills and how you once used a blade of magical force to disembowel an opponent.
Uh, Towel, trowel. Those rhyme.
Arius the Great did eviscerate. There we go. Ha ha! And he's being his usual slightly charming but kind of annoying self. Uh, when
Arius just.
in the
Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead.
I was going to
No,
say,
go ahead.
Arius is just rolling his eyes and continuing reading the dispatches.
All right, there is a knock on the door.
Enter.
My Lord Arius, uh, there's a barbarian woman from here to see you, and I don't like the look of her. She's looks like she's up to no good. Those barbarians are seldom up to any good.
Do you personally judge people by their appearance the instant you look at them?
May I, sir? And he points to his shirt and
Uh,
lifts up his shirt and shows you a big scar across his stomach. Barbarian once did that to me, sir.
I'm not denying that. What's her
So
name?
anyway, she said her name was Kara.
Kara. Yes, send her in at once.
Very good, sir. All right. So Oslin,
Yes.
all right. So what are you doing here in the keep? You have noticed you and Hank are probably sitting. Where are you sitting? Are you sitting outside or inside the tavern?
I think Oslin would be like outside, kind of shadow playing with like his sword, trying to learn different maneuvers and blocking.
Okay. All right. So you're doing that, and you see this woman walk in. She's got a wolf with her. Her arms are crisscrossed with scars, and she's very lean. She's uh, her muscles look like corded steel under her tanned skin, and she looks vaguely familiar. So, Kara, do you notice Oslin there, sword fighting the air?
Come up to him and and greet him kind of surprisingly, and Oslin, it's good to see you.
Oslin will stop and make eye contact and realize that it's Kara and probably run up and hug her around the waist and ask how she's been.
Oh, actually, I'm very well. It's been an interesting few months since we left. Um,
Indeed.
yes.
All right. So the guards are like, ma'am, Lord Arius is waiting.
Yes. Oslin, would you come with us and have them gather the others? I have very important news.
One of the guards hops
Absolutely.
to and runs off to do that. Noticing that Oslin is friendly with you, and these guys have great respect for Oslin, they're like, "Oh crap, this is someone important." Um,
How's this wolf look?
it's a big wolf. It's not quite a dire wolf, but it's almost Hank's size. It's one of those big northern ones.
Like a Malamute?
Yeah, kind of, but definitely scarier looking.
Okay, that's what I think that was my next question was like, Ozlin kind of wants to pet it.
Okay, Oslin, make a charisma check.
Oh boy. Can I just use the spell to speak to animals?
You can definitely do that.
Let,
Make a
let's see
wisdom
let's
check in
see
that case.
let's see the charisma check first.
Ah.
Yeah, let's use that spell.
The wolf growls at you. It's well trained. It won't kill you unless Kara says so, but you get the impression that killing you would not be too far out of its way.
I'll put my hand on her side and tell her easy. He's a friend.
She then just licks you with this massive tongue.
Yeah,
Oslin.
Oslin's cool with that. He doesn't care.
All
He's
right.
like scratching her behind her ears.
Okay. So, Varg, Trell actually. Trell, you see Oslin hugging this person. You see this interesting wolf. And you hear the wolf say, "Watch it, halfling."
So I'll turn around and I'll, kind of light up with joy and tell him, this is good to see you. Yes, we've been through a lot. This is Nyx. And then I'll walk over and I'll give him a hug.
Well, you're elvish, so she would be dead by the time she saw a change. Um,
Yeah,
all right, so the wolf comes over and nuzzles your leg, Trell. She says, "You're only half ugly." You get the sense that Kara has been in a land where they don't lie much. They just cleave your skull if you're impolite. Um, the wolf seems to really say that. All right, so Varg, you smell wolf.
And the familiar scent of someone I haven't smelled in months.
Yes. Well, kind of. It's hard to tell. That wolf's pretty ripe.
Yeah,
Um,
the wolf's pretty ripe, and Kara's regular scent's also muddled up a lot with like all she's been through. So so it's kind of faint, but can't help but feel like that new wolf seems very slightly unfamiliar. So that's something to worth investigating. And then there's also like very faint, like something like just hinting it a little bit, like that wolf,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
and I can't quite place it, but something's just oddly familiar about that little hint of scent. So
Yes.
I'm
Beautiful.
going. So I'm obviously going to look. Varg's going to look over at Carr and say, and just yell out, "Behave yourself!" and get up and start making his way over. And look for where it's coming from, find everyone, and just walk forward to greet everyone and sees Kara. I don't. And he's just
Now,
gonna like,
upon sight, you recognize her. You're an archer. You're trained to look at people from a distance. You know Kara.
oh, um, Kara.
Oh my gosh, I'm glad to see you. And I'll walk over and I'll give him a hug and again, just let Nix know that, we're in good hands um and say I'm glad everyone's here. We need to go talk to Area C immediately.
Varg's just gonna hug right back. Just kind of like look at you incredulously a little bit. Just be like, we haven't seen you in months. Like, what happened to you?
It's a long story. It I I will let you guys. I will tell you about that in a little bit, but there's there's more pressing matters that we need to speak about first.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. He's got to like look at the wolf and just give a wave and say hi. I always picture like whenever people who can talk to animals, like I picture when they talk to the animals, it's kind of like a Doctor Doolittle kind of thing where like they don't realize they're doing it, but everyone else just hears them like bark or like howl or something
Yes.
at the creature. So he's just gonna like say hi to Nyx.
Nix nods to you ever so slightly. She is a proud creature. Get that impression. Spade.
Well, we're both wolves, so you know.
Yep. All right. So, Arius, suddenly everyone is in your quarters.
Kara, yes, come in, and everyone else, please. We'll need some more chairs, I think, and tea. Tea. How about tea as well? And
Yes. Okay.
steak.
So the guards are doing
And steak for the wolf.
very good, sir. Says the majordomo of the. He scrambles to get what you need, and then Rip Fang stands up and says, "Oh, hello. Okay, so Kara, this is the first time you've seen this guy. He's a gnoll. You fought gnolls in the past, but this guy's dressed like in a lot of noble finery." And he's like, "And hello, lady. However are you doing? Rip Fang at your service."
Um, so I will immediately like tense up, um, and look at Arius and uh, just be like, what is this thing doing here?
He accompanied us. He's not dangerous at all. He's quite a creative fellow. I can always ask him to leave if you feel uncomfortable.
Well, you know his people that they all they do is they go around destroying and just taking whatever they want.
Varg's gonna like, kind of step forward and just be like, Kara, if anyone here hates Knowles as much as you do, it would be my purest family. But trust me, he's a glorious bastard.
Um, all
No
right.
worries, lady. If I make you uncomfortable, I can. But I was raised by humans to the north in the glorious city of Diver.
Well, upbringing, can be part of it. So, um, no, you can stay if you've earned the trust of my friends. Then who am I to
I
tell
am
them
honored.
otherwise? Just make sure do not come near Nyx. I cannot guarantee that she will be as cool as cool headed as I.
Of course, good lady. He slightly gulps and is distant. The food arrives, the drinks arrive. And that means, Kara, you have the floor.
What was that, Tina?
Kara has the floor. It
Oh,
is she has news for everyone. Obviously, tell them about what you've been doing, and then I'll insert details about the.
um, so I guess quickly to just kind of give you an update on where I've been. So I don't know how, but whenever we left the castle, I ended up completely in up in somewhere in the north, and all I know is I woke up and I was just frozen to the bone, and it was just a huge blizzard. Um, and I I did wander for a while and came upon a group of people who actually were they took me in. So um, after a time of getting to know them and uh, was fed and warmed, they actually they took me in as one of their own. So and then uh, after I was strong enough and had kind of learned as much as as I could from them about the land and where I was. Uh, I started making my way back down here, and actually, so as I was on my way, um, I ended up coming across a band of gnolls, surprisingly enough, who I'd seen and battled enough as it was, and I actually was not faring too well against them. And actually, that is when um, Nyx came and she found me and actually was able to drive off the gnolls. And so I owe her everything right now. But enough about that. So as I was coming down here and southward, there's a huge army that is coming this way, um, and it does have the flag. It's the grinning skulls, and I've seen that before. It's been a very long time. Um, Tina, what did you say that it was?
Okay, it is the sigil of Iuz the Evil. He is a demigod who rules a kingdom, horned kingdoms, and um, he is very powerful. And the other thing that you notice, you've gotten here ahead of them because you were single. Um, two things you know. One is they are putting every tree to the torch as they march southward. Two is that they are led by a woman with four arms and the lower body of a serpent. And you know you overheard some of the soldiers as you were sneaking past call her the infants.
But what is she called again?
The infants.
Like baby infants?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Arius, you recognize that description. She is a Marlith, a demon from the abyss itself, and one of the generals of those armies.
I simply relay that information to Kara as I'm slowly stirring my tea with a spoon.
Beautiful.
A little concerned.
Okay, so Trill, how do you respond to this? Mm-hmm. Um, Actually, yes, Kara does know one other thing. She heard that there is an orc priestess who has discovered something of interest to Isles in the south, and their plan is to crush Verbalonk and then to lay waste to Selene.
Yes, that's the one I had a vision about.
And there's something on the wild coast as well when it was mentioned by someone, can't remember now.
One of the goblins.
That's it, yeah. Yes, we'll send out a call to arms to every able-bodied individual. Yes.
Are you going to let the Castellan of Heat know, as he is the one who would be able to send out the call letter?
Yes.
All right, so do you go to his office or do you call him in?
Oh, I
You could
call
do
him
that, I
here.
guess.
I
All
call
right,
him
so
in.
excellent. So Sir Armin arrives. He salutes you, my Lord Arius, and you apprise him of the situation. He's like, hmm, "It'll take time to get men together."
Indeed. Indeed. We also need to think
Would it be
about if
possible for your group to scout to the north and get us troop movement?
we can certainly do that. We also need to think about evacuating as many of the towns and cities in their path down south as possible.
I will do my best. People of in Verbabank are proud, but I will do my best to prevail upon them with good sense.
Yes. Yes, do that.
May I also call upon your father-in-law, Lord Decala, and get him
Yes.
to put his way?
You have my authority to do what is necessary.
Very good, sir. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With all due respect, Master Trell, I was thinking you might use the Griffins to scout. It would get you there faster and get you back faster. I fear, my friend, we are all in terrible. As wise, I will also send a messenger south. So
do we
go
do
ahead.
we know exactly like how far they are from where we're at?
They're probably a week's walk north. Freya, as a barbarian, you can run as fast as a horse, and you also make it impossible for your group to be surprised.
Okay.
So that's one of Kara's new abilities.
She's a barbarian monk now?
Yeah.
That's badass.
Yes. And it was like she actually came up with this really cool reason why she became a barbarian. So I'm like, hell yes. Let's do this. All right. So yeah, basically Armin is scurrying about. He's got the entire keep up in arms ready. Um so what is everyone going to do? What are you doing right now?
So I'm sitting on the floor next to Nyx, just chilling because the chairs are uncomfortable for me anymore. I'm not used to them.
Right. Um Kiara is like, I will do anything you tell me to, Master Trell. Daria's kind of laughing about it. She's like, they are so eager. And Alaric is currently reading a book. He's like, oh, an army. That's that sounds terrifying. I hate war. No, no, no. I mean, you saved my life. You kept me safe. I see no reason to run away from your warm side, Master Trell. I mean, you are very fast with your swords. Daria is like, whatever you tell me to do, I will do, Master Trell. You know this. Yes, I mean, I can stay and assist Sir Armin. It is. Honestly, I would rather go with you. I grow tired of all of the bandying about and talking. I miss drawing blades and standing side by side with you, sir. Very good. I will be happy to help her. Kiara looks like she is just going to swoon. She's so happy. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like you're a fighter. I mean, as a fighter, the thing you are best at is fighting, and people notice this. And they're like, yeah, this guy killed like 10 people one time. What happened? Excellent. All right, so Trell, you hear panicked shouts outside the keep. No one else seems to hear them. And when you look, you see deer and bear and wolves and birds all fleeing southward in a panic. Yes? Yeah, the guards are kind of clutching their holy symbols of St. Cuthbert, wondering what the hell's happening. Yeah, you see in the far, far north, from up here, you can see smoke on the horizon. Sir Armin. He's the Dragonborn. Hmm? So, Master Trell, I know you're woodland protector, but I have a question. They're using fire as a tactic to drive everything before them. Could we do some controlled burns to deprive them of a space of, say, half mile, so they can't be setting fires all the way here? Yes, have the druids burn out certain sections of forest to preserve the rest. Well, you've got Kiara, and you've got Oslin. That's all you got.
And Var's
Arius's fire is a little bit less controlled. All right. So that's what y'all are doing. Y'all are doing controlled burns to create a firewall around the keep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm going to say that you all through Druidcraft, you're just using that cantrip to do this. Because you're starting control burns. You're not trying to nuke the forest. Um, that's Arius's speed. Um, well, yes, and you can talk to the animals and instruct them where to go for safety. All right. So, Oslin, you're doing this, correct?
Yes.
As you're doing this, in the flames, you get another vision. You see that orc priestess, and she's talking to you now. She's not wearing the closed eye anymore. She's wearing a grinning skull. And she smiles at you and says, "Thank you for doing my work for me, little druid."
I think Oslin's just kind of swaying, and he asks, "Who are you?
I
What's
am
your business
Ozoka.
here?"
I am a priestess of Iuz, the Lord of Pain. And I have come to offer you a mercy. If you and your friends stand down and do not stand against the armies of Iuz, I will give you a chance to rescue your friend. And she shows you a vision of Gromek chained in a cage. Tell your Lord Arius to stand down, or I will kill this one, and assassins will wipe out his entire line.
Seems a bit much.
You have no idea the lengths I will go to, little one.
You might underestimate your opponents, man.
That is fine. The strong must survive, the weak will perish. We'll see.
Is there a way that
All right.
Oslin can like end the link himself, or is it like all her?
Yes, you can. You can.
Okay, so like after that, Oslin will just like snap out of it.
Okay.
And is Arius around us at all?
Arius, are you out there surveying the druids burning down the forest in the most delicious moment of irony you've ever seen?
I'm going to step away for just a moment. I'll be right back.
Okay. Arius, can you hear me? Has Arius vanished into the...
Now, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, there we go. Arius will not be outside watching the burning, as much as Arius likes the fire. I mean, granted, he could use Ray of Frost to help with the fire, at least guiding it. But no, he'll be inside the keep, or at least around the keep, to direct what troops there are.
Okay. You notice that troops are immediately arriving from Homlet, along with a whole bunch of the people of Homlet. They trust your word. They know you guys have saved them in the past, and they will listen. Say again? Yes, your dwarf is with them, and the chicken Barbara is there too.
Attack chicken.
It's a
let's
crit
just
chicken.
yeah, let's just throw Barbara at the army.
There is no Arius still has that. Well, Arius, both Arius and uh, or is it just Arius? Can call on that nuclear crystal thing.
I'm back.
Yes, you can. Yes, you do have that. You are the only one that learned it, in fact. You have no idea what that's going to do.
No, I don't.
Wait, what are you? What are you?
Do you remember the nuclear crystal that Arius touched?
Oh, good lord!
He does.
I would remember it because I helped you send it back up there.
Yes.
You do have activate it.
Arius is curious on calling. I mean, would it be right? It's not in the middle of
There
the
is
woods.
nothing more wizardly than wanting to play with things humans were not meant to know.
Well, Arius isn't human, so
Well, mortals were not meant to know.
no, he'll keep that at the back of his mind as a last resort.
Probably why.
Yes, but he's at least going to. Is there a drawbridge and whatnot around
There
the keep?
is. There is a
Yes.
drawbridge and a moat around the keep.
Hmm. Could I erect my own castle thing in front of it as an extra wall of defense? Yeah, that's what I mean. The fortress spell thing.
You mean the tower you summoned, correct?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Then in that case, yeah, you can do that.
Okay, so I'm going to raise that in front of the keep as well as
Yeah, I
in front
mean,
of the moat.
it'll work as long as there's no one present who can dispel it.
Okay.
Actually, just have him roll it. Don't worry about that. Roll your intelligence there, sir.
Okie dokie.
Difficulty's only 11. I'm going
Oh,
to give you advantage because you're not under any duress.
okay. Yay.
Okay, the walls are permanent and can only be dispelled with a likewise powerful dispel magic. So, congratulations.
Huzzah.
However, there is a very unfortunate scout who's stuck on top of one of the walls going, "Hello? Hello?"
Is that an enemy scout or one of ours?
No, he's one of yours.
Okay.
Help.
Mhm.
Well, okay, whatever it says, it's got pretty much 3 times that because the magnitude was high enough. Okay. All right, so moving right along. So there's an extra surrounding on the keep, um, and the people who came from Hamlet are starting to set up camp inside the walls between. So now you've created an inner keep and an outer fortress.
Mhm.
So congratulations. All right. So that's what you're doing. Varg, what are you up to?
So these people are moving in on us, right? Like they're coming this direction.
Yes.
Okay. So while everyone else is like working with burning the certain parts of the forest to create a control burn, um,
Mm-hmm.
Varg's like the um I believe I could be using the term deliberating with someone on
Mm-hmm.
who knows like we've been here for a few months. Varg knows this forest at like the back of his paw now.
Yes.
And I'm also going to be looking out with most people who come into this forest to that hunt for the for you know for food and whatever try who are who live within the keep with us. Um, Trying to think about the best places where we could probably like make some traps to like maybe dwindle the numbers a bit by the time they get
All
there.
right. So yeah, you and the other rangers in the keep are out actually building traps. That's beautiful. Mm-hmm. Oh. It's got turrets. I am removing the invisible servants and making it so the walls will heal.
Ooh.
See, I don't like magic. It's like when I mess with the forces of chaos and pull them screaming into this world, it always turns out the same way every time. That makes no sense to me. He did really well. I want this thing to work beautifully. So, all right,
I will.
just don't roll a one.
I'll cast fireball. Poof! Arius dies. The end.
No. Anyway.
Oh, oh, I just I forgot to mention this when we first started, but I'm
Mhm.
actually going to be trying something different with Varg's character a bit.
Ooh.
So I'm a bit kind of like shy about it because it's gonna be but I've been playing a video game with an Icelandic character, and because I picture Varg's family very Icelandic, I'm going to be trying to work on an Icelandic accent for Varg.
Nice.
It's not going to be good, but if you guys start hearing like Varg starting to like make a thrill to his a thrill to his R or his R's or how he talks, that's what I'm trying to do. It's not going to be good, so forgive me. But
I encourage any creativity.
I'm not going to. I have no idea what an Icelandic accent is like. The only thing Vikings, yeah. The only thing I can think of is what McCall from Sesame Street, that Swedish chef.
Chef, yes. All right. So Kara, what are you up to as they are running around preparing the key?
So I will tell Arius and the others that while they're preparing, I will go ahead and trek back north to see what, kind of scout ahead and um see what else I can try to find, and come and report back.
Okay. All right. So you're headed north. Okay, you head a good ways northward. You're probably about 30 miles north of the keep using your just insane amounts of endurance. Civilized people don't have that. Um, and you're 30 miles north of the keep when you see a bunch of goblins riding giant bats.
Well, that's
They
not
are
right.
flying southward.
So yeah, I will take cover, so I won't be seen. Um, and just kind of, yeah, mumble to myself of, well, that's not right. Um, how many are there?
There look to be 20 of them. And whenever you see one flying over a farmstead, it drops what looks like a little pot. There's an explosion.
Um, so I will I'll look at Nyx, and since I have the speak with animals, um, I will tell her to hurry back to the group and to let
Yes,
Trell know what's coming.
it will be done. All right, so Nyx takes. You also see a scouting party of 5 orcs wearing Ayuz's colors. Are you going to hide from them? Are you going to engage them?
Uh, I'm gonna try to hide from them, just because
Okay,
I know what
make
I'm
it
supposed to be doing.
right. Make a dex. All right, they move past. Um, no problem. Just they don't even notice you're there. All right. So Trell, as you're out in the forest, you're doing your thing, and up runs Nyx. Nyx says, Kara has told me that I must tell you there are goblins on bats coming this way, flying. They drop things, explode. Yeah.
Well, I was, yeah. I mean,
Um, if you make the terrain harder, they will know something's up. And the spike traps generally aren't. The spike stuff isn't going to last for long enough. It's not a permanent spell usually. So yeah, you'll probably need to use that more in when they're closer.
how um there is something I am thinking about. You said these bats are dropping things, right?
Yeah, they're goblins riding on giant bats,
Aren't
and they're
is
dropping clay pots that explode.
okay. And in this and this is a forested area, right?
Yes.
Well, like I feel like that if like since we're already in here like kind of like working with traps, couldn't like if like Trell is in any way able to get over to Varg and like let him know this, like couldn't he work with everyone and probably like do this like weird thing where they take some of the branches of the trees and like kind of like twist them and tie them together to like make like a canopy that it won't stop it from like completely falling, but it'll at least like soften the blow so it doesn't like shatter too bad or anything.
The unfortunate thing is you got too much forest to try to do that.
Yeah. We need areas to kind of think of a strategic placement of that, and areas is in the keep. You lazy son of a bitch.
It just did erect a giant fortress.
Yeah, with magic, not with your own bare hands. I'm kidding. All right. Anyways,
So Arius, you've performed a miracle, but nobody's great. No, I'm just kidding. Oh,
Bard, play the sad violin.
yeah, Rip Van. No, he doesn't. He pulls the violin.
world's smallest violin.
No, he's got a big one. All right, so Arius, what are you up to?
Well, since the fortress has been put up with magic, um, he's going to see if he can. How far are the armies that are coming to the keep away? Are they here now, or are
Oh,
they?
Celine will take days. This is just day one.
Okay.
Hamlet arrived, but it's like 25 guys. That's that's the entire Hamlet militia and a
Uh,
chicken and a
what
bunch of
about
villagers.
the militia that Arius created? Because he said there was what?
They're further up in Verbabank. Um,
Hmm.
Word is being sent to muster Verbabank's forces. You know you can get your militia down here,
Yes,
but
I'll
the
get.
city fathers of Verbabank might not want to.
uh, well, damn
Okay,
Verbabonk.
so
Uh, he's going to call for the army
Oslin.
to come down.
Can everybody still seriously?
the weather be causing problems? You know, with the storms that are coming together. Oh no, I just meant with the internet. Okay.
Yeah, because it hit us on Friday. That's why we had the tornadoes that came through Friday afternoon. Well, the tornado warning, anyways.
That's the thing. The week where I couldn't hear any of you, that was the backlash of the storms coming over this way. Well, no, it'll just be the backlash. It would have come along the jet stream and hit us. Not much, but just a little bit.
And fudge.
Mm.
One moment.
Well, yes, fudge, nothing but sugar. I like fudge, but it's a lot of sugar. I don't like overly sweet stuff. Yeah. I used to have 2 spoons of sugar in my tea, but now I have no sugar. And even with milk chocolate, it tastes too sweet for me.
Hello again.
Hello,
Hello?
hello, hello.
Okay, good. Y'all can hear me?
Yes,
Excellent. All right. So, Arius, what was it you were doing before Discord crapped its pants?
I'm going to call for at least half of the militia to come down from Verbabonk.
All right. You have sent the message. Hopefully, the messenger gets there. All righty. Yes, on your next turn, you may do that. You were just finishing up talking to Nyx and all that. So, all right. So, Oslin,
Yes.
what do you want to do? Are you going to tell them about the Gromek threat, or
Yeah. So Oslin's gonna stop burning forest because he doesn't really want to do that, and he will he's gonna take off running to where he believes Arius is at inside the keep.
all right? So you find Arius inside the keep.
He's gonna approach kind of half out of breath and like they have Gromac, and then just kind of relay everything that was like the vision that he had with the orc priestess wearing now the no longer wearing the purple robes but the green insignia, and basically
Yes.
told us that if we stand down and let him just go through, that we might be able to rescue Gromac, and if not, she's going to kill him and then have assassins kill his entire line.
Even if we surrendered, there's no guarantee we would be left alive either.
I agree, so I don't feel like surrendering is an option.
And I don't think Gromek would like it very much if we surrendered from a battle.
Do we know where Gromac's being held at?
Yes, you do. He's in an old abandoned dwarf delve the goblins told you about in the Hell Furnace Mountain.
How far away is that?
You could probably make it in 2 days on the Griffin, or less. Actually, you could make it in a day on the Griffin.
Thing is, it should we go and rescue Gromek and then continue seeing to the defenses, or would it be best to have half the party go and save Gromek? That is true.
It's 6. The army itself is 6 days out. This is mostly a vanguard.
Could Daria and the apprentices of Trell be able to keep back the vanguard for now while we go and save Gromek?
Well, yeah, they've got the forces in the keep and everybody else backing them up. So yeah.
So Arius goes out of the keep and tries to find the others, and
All right.
relays.
Is there a horn we can get that we can like blow on that's like a call to arms for our people?
Well, actually, I'm going to say you do that very thing. Arius, you don't go looking for them. You send out folks to get them.
Okay, I send people to find them.
And Kara, you have returned. I'm going to say, you have the information about the Vanguard. Mostly just 5 orcs, 5 orc scouts, and those 20 bat riding goblins.
Tell them about that and let them know that that's all I have been able to find so far, is find out anyways.
A panicked, panicked looking guard comes running in and screams, Lord Arius, there's a problem.
Yes. What's the problem?
A dragon, a big dragon coming from the northeast, very big, very big. Black. It's a black dragon.
Right.
Within minutes, you hear a loud voice booming through the walls of the keep. Trell, the half-wolf elf. You were the one that made the deal with it. Trell, come speak to me. Or I will set this place I will turn it to rubble. You did me a good turn once in delivering me Lareth the Beautiful. What do you need? What do you need? And then we will consider ourselves squared. Next time I shall likely kill you. I see no goblins. They're not within sight. Yes. Yes, I will kill your goblin. And we are even. Very good then. The dragon kind of smiles, and that's even more terrifying than it not smiling. Then takes to the air. All right, so you bought yourself some time. Well, sending people out all over, and word gets around. Particularly when the village the dragon tends to prey on gets evacuated.
It's just trying to follow its food.
That's right.
I'm sure we can put Barbara the chicken up against the dragon.
Don't make me kill Barbara. I remember this dragon. I've got the notes. This dragon is a worm, okay? It is like old. Please don't kill Barbara.
Anyway, yes, Arius was going to relay to the group the whereabouts of Grumek. Before the dragon rudely interrupted.
Hey, black is a chromatic dragon. Metallic, yes. Alrighty. So, are you all going after Gromek? It looks fortified, and Armin is working everybody hard. Daria is even using Move Earth to help
Ooh.
build up some fortifications. Yeah, well, you're about to fly up into the mountains. Do you want to leave the animals here or take them with you or what? Okay. All right. So roll. Roll your wisdom. Okay. No, you did fine. You did more than fine. Okay. So out of the forest comes one animal. It is a dire bear. It is enormous. It is possibly the size of an elephant.
Dang.
No, no. All right, so the bear's like, what would you have me do? I will eat them. It's a bear. It thinks like that. He lumbers off, sniffing for orcs. Hopefully, he doesn't come on the wrong orcs. That's true. That's true. All right, so Kara, this will be your first time flying, won't it?
Uh, yes, I believe so.
Okay. So there are big griffins. They have griffin.
Um, so I'll use my speak with animals and just kind of briefly introduce myself and tell it that this is my first time flying and just don't know what to expect.
Just strap yourself in and hold on.
Right. So what about Nyx? How is she going to
Oh,
travel?
there's actually Oslin has come up with this. There is a harness that goes on the animals. Hank does not. Yeah, Hank does not like this.
So I will have to have a nice little conversation with her to let her to explain to her what's going to be going on.
She's like, "You're going to do what with me?"
So
Like Oslin is overly eager to help because finally someone has a big dog like him. That's how he looks at it. Like,
All right, so you're being overly eager to help. Nix looks at the both of you. You two legs are always weird. And Hank is trying to sniff Nix's butt.
I'll look at Hank and tell him you probably don't want to do that.
Aw, she's really cool.
I mean, it's your nose. That's all I'm saying.
He actually comes up and like presses his head against her, and she's like, but she's not hostile. But Hank is like, I love you. Because we all know that's what dogs are thinking.
Oslin's like just looking and like, oh, like look, they're best friends. Like Elbow and Kara.
Unamused wolf noises from Nyx.
Yeah, Varg, you recognize those noises.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it to you two to think that.
All right. So, are we taking off?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, everybody flies up into the sky on these griffins. The griffins are having a nice time. They're happy to be airborne again. Oslin, you give them the directions toward the old dwarf fort. And everything was going so well. All right, so I'm going to need Kara, you first. Make a wisdom check, beat a 15.
Oh.
Hmm.
Okay. The griffin is buffeted by a. Fortunately, the griffin manages to save itself, but it's lost some feathers to a massive, like 8-foot long ballista bolt.
Ooh.
Trell, make a wisdom check. I'm going to say check because you're actually steering the animal.
Oh.
Well, actually, I'm gonna add your. I'm adding in my head your proficiency bonuses. The unfortunate part is that still doesn't do it. So your griffin, your griffin is not injured yet, but it is definitely spooked. It is not a happy beast. Varg, wisdom check, please.
Oh.
Varg steers the griffin round and just does everything perfectly, like he was born on the back of one of these things. Everybody else is like, what the hell? Where did you learn to do that? Okay. Uh, so Arius, a wisdom check.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's a 1. Okay, so your griffin is taken out.
Oh.
You are plummeting. You're plummeting toward the ground.
Oh, right. Hang on. I think I have a spell for this. Yes, I have for the fall. I do.
Thank fuck you've got Featherfall. Okay.
There we go.
Roll your intelligence, please.
Yes. Da, 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 da. Oh no!
Oh
Crap,
no.
crap. You're like casting, crap. Okay. Still not dead yet. Oslin, make your wisdom check to dodge this. Then I'm going to say, Kara, you have a chance to catch him. All right, so you managed to dodge. Kara, you've just got to beat a 10. Please make a 10 on your wisdom check.
Yeah, hang on. I was just curious. Just looking to see if I had anything that may help me with that, but okay. Oh, there we go.
Oof.
All
There we
right,
go.
Arius, you're falling. You're seeing the trees come up towards your eyes when suddenly you feel Kara grab you and toss you on behind her.
Good to
I
see
think
my
All right.
good to see my monk skills are still are sharp.
I think Aris is a little more paler in his platinum skin than usual.
All right, so you've there are some palisades that you can land behind. So the ballistae can't fire again because they will fire if you keep. They'll fire again in the next round. They will fire again next round unless you land behind these wooden palisades. They're left rotting on the ground. They will provide cover for you to snipe at the ballista crews.
I think that's logical. No more bolts, please.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so is everybody landing?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so let's see. Who technically Trell, it's your turn. So Trell, what are you wanting to do here? You are currently behind uh a an old wooden wall, the remnants of what once looked like a village or a stable. Up on the hills, there are there are four ballistae that are preparing to shoot anything that comes in the sky toward them.
Whereabouts this is on the map?
You are, if you're looking at this map, you're right here. Hang on, can you do that? I'm on a laptop, so okay. Where that dot is, if you'll notice that. If you go south toward north of Corwood, south of Enstad, you actually had to go all the way south of Enstad.
Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
Okay, so you're in the hills there. There are these four ballista crews. You can't tell exactly what their makeup is.
I
You
could
can
send my
see people,
familiar.
and they would have disadvantage to hit it. So
Yeah, I'll send
Are
my
there
familiar up.
trees around us?
very sparse trees. You're out of the forests now. When you were just at the forest edge when Arius was falling.
Are they all like the same kind of trees?
No, this is mostly deciduous trees. It's mostly oaks and maples and walnuts.
Okay. I just wondered if it was because like the tree stride is something that he can do. Like if I can like pop into one tree that's the same kind near them to see who they are, and then I can pop back.
Um, I'm gonna say there's a tree up near one of the ballista.
Okay, so then Ozlin will do that just to kind of like do a quick scout of that one to see who's there or what's there.
Okay. All right. You do so. So roll your wisdom. Okay, so you managed to get up there. There are humans. They're just humans, looks like. 4 to each ballista.
Okay, so Ozlin will just pop back to the group and let them know it's just looks like 4 human mortals.
Was there any flag, banner, or sigil around the ballistae?
No.
No. Okay. Mm-hmm.
You could either sneak past the ballistae and get to the dwarf fortress that way, or you could take them out. However you want to do it.
I say let's just take him out. I mean, that's my thought.
Unfortunately, no. I mean, Oslin jumped into the only tree that was up on the rise. This is mostly rocky kind of Badlands area.
Well, where we're at happens to be Tina. You said we could like snipe from where we landed, right?
You betcha.
So I think if we're gonna take these guys out, I think Varg's gonna like put himself in a position where he could see but not be seen, um, and everyone else who's not much into range is that kind of thing. But I'm also kind of thinking we should, you know, they're humans. We don't know, have an insignia for them. Do we know for certain they're bandits? Because for all we know, they could have thought we were an enemy.
Then
I mean,
tells me that if they have the ballistas big enough and they just shoot willy nilly, that you know I don't think they were just defending themselves.
We could capture one of them and question them.
mm,
By the way, I could actually help with Trell's sneak abilities because I do have smoke bolts. So if I fire some smoke bolts around the ballista, could Trell use that to sneak around?
That'll give every. Well, you're not going to be really sneaking. It's just everybody has advantage to beat the crap out of the people who are confused and blinded for 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Before they start realizing there's somebody beating the crap out of me and start hitting back. Um, Mm-hmm.
So can they communicate clearly, like between like bunkers, for lack of a better term? Like, can they see
Yeah,
each other without like? So is there
yeah,
like? So could we get in there and take out one without the rest of them seeing it?
that would be possible. Yes.
So that way we could just question one group versus having to attack all four.
Yep.
What do we think about that?
Yeah, that would work.
Either way, Varg's in his position. He's just gonna watch. If he has to like be sure people can keep in contact with him with how far away they're gonna go. Um, he can actually put message on someone because they can always reply back to a message he sends. It's
Roll to cast message. It's a wizard spell, right?
it's a cantrip, but
Yeah, cantrip. Roll to cast it. Intelligent.
yeah.
That's what I like to see.
Everybody
Whoops.
has it.
Yes, actually, everybody has it. You can now communicate with each other via Varg's spell.
The Vargnet.
It will last for 2 hours.
Argnet.
So if you guys
Magical magic is cool.
So, if you guys question them and they turn out that, this was all a huge misunderstanding, you guys can tell me and I don't put an arrow in anyone's eye.
Okay. So I can fire the smoke bolts first, and then we jump them.
Yeah. Roll to fire your smoke bolts there, Arius.
Mm-hmm. It's a repeating crossbow, so I'm going to fire at least 3 of them
Okay.
in concession.
All right. Just roll beat a 10. All right. The entire valley is filled with smoke. Everyone is confused. You hear them going, "What's going on?" One guy screaming, "Sorcery!" Okay, so you you have okay. Everybody, you just pick them. You're not even going to have to roll at this stage. Unfortunately, Varg, you can't be shooting anybody because you can't see
I
through the
can't see.
stinking smoke.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you just want to grab one of these confused sods, I'm going to say you've done it.
Yeah. He's going to stay in a sniping position to kind of steer fit clear off of everyone. Anyone else can let him know to like stand down or get over there or whatever.
Okay. So
Yeah, Arius has no reason to kill them yet, without first interrogating them. So he's going to just knock some of them out.
oh, the unfortunate problem with this is I don't know how Trell's going to feel about them after they killed a griffin. Um, Trell might eat one of them. I mean, so because I've been warned about this already.
Well, we don't know if the griffin's actually dead yet.
It was hit dead on by an 8-foot long bolt and fell from the sky.
All right, it be deaded.
All right, so Kara, you get to go. You've caught one of them. What do you do? What are you going to say? How are you going to handle this?
Um, I I am going to just punch him in the face and
You
tell him,
shatter his teeth.
and just tell him, who do you work for? What are you doing here? Why'd you shoot us?
Oh, we were hired to shoot down anything flew over the valley. Oh, you broke my fucking jaw.
Oh dear.
She's a barbarian monk. I mean, iron palm and now unbounded rage. You know what's gonna happen? You broke my jaw.
Yeah, get over it. You'll have worse if you don't tell us everything that we want to know.
The orc lady hired us. He spits out a molar. The orc lady hired us. Okay.
Uh,
Trell is just like
um,
Varg, you just why do I picture Trell singing some little song as he does it, like da, 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 da. and 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 that's all you hear in your head, Varg, is Trell whistling, singing, playing this happy little tune. Uh,
Well, then, I suppose that, if that's the case, then yeah, then she'll pretty much turn around and snap the guy's neck. And
jeez, okay.
I'm just saying, if he's gonna do it, might as well.
All right. Conan and the eco terrorist here running around. All right. You can always wake him up and tell him before you ice him. I don't care. All right. So, okay, you're doing that. You're doing that very thing. So, Arius, Oslin, that was a lot more violent than you probably thought.
Arius certainly is concerned.
Same.
Well, yeah, and I'll personally say by the time this is over, but when everyone gets back, Varg's gonna just be very unamused.
Nix is running around, eating pieces of the victim.
Of course.
At this point, Hank just kind of hunkers down next to you, Oslin. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
Ozil's like petting him, just shaking his head. Gives
Aris
him a
is just
biscuit.
Aris is going to go and inspect the ballistas because going to he's curious about moving them to the fortress.
These are of gnomish make. You've never seen their like.
Ooh,
Um, these are incredible pieces of machinery.
Arius want.
Unfortunately, Arius far away from Fortress.
I know. We'll collect them later.
All right. So you stand before massive dwarven gates at the end of this canyon. Um, these things are ancient. Um, And Arius, since you're a wizard, you recognize this is the delve of a fellow named Daril Runehammer, who died 5 or 6 thousand years ago.
Okay.
You hear
Um,
screams from somewhere deep in the fortress.
that can only be Gromek. I would like to inspect the doors to see if they are trapped.
Yes, they are. There is a massive. If you press on the doors, there is a massive blade that will just fall down and hit everyone standing in front of the doors. Now, you see that there are some gears that make this work.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So you're going to make a door. Okay. So you're going to make a hole in the door. Okay. Um, I'm well. I mean, as long as you don't move the door, the trap won't go off. So make a wisdom check. The difficulty's 13. You make the hole. And all right, you all go through. You have 5 rounds to reach Gromek.
Oh,
So
Didn't we get some like rough draft blueprints from the goblins of this
you
place?
did, but this place is big and it's like a giant city under here.
could Varg be able to pick up Gromek's scent, or is there just too much?
Unerringly. Varg can smell orc from miles away.
Orc, Knoll, and Kobold.
All right, so Varg leads you through the twisting, turning maze of this place, and you see Gromek. He's chained in a cage. He's been beaten badly. And there are 2 onyx dragon statues to either sides of him. And from the mouth of each statue drips a glowing, viscous liquid that hisses when it hits the ground.
Oh,
Um, Basically, it looks like some kind of. It's almost like a water clock, except with acid. And when the timer goes off, the acid sprays onto the cage and fills this room.
oh, right. The way Gromek's chained, are there any other traps if we try and release him?
Um, if the tension is released on the chains, it will cause the timer to go off faster.
Oh,
Okay, so you're searching for an activator, some sort of control panel. All right, so you find a set of levers on the far wall. No. Death traps so seldom come with convenient uh, so seldom come with convenient labeling system.
There is. I do have Dimension Door, and if everyone else goes back, could I release Gromech and then use Dimension Door to just vanish outside?
Outside this room, yes, you could do it.
Okay.
The difficulty will be. I'm gonna say the difficulty is 13. This is a pretty tense situation because
Okay.
you've got to cast this thing in time not to get sprayed by freaking acid.
Okay. Right.
Is there like a clear direction as to where the acid sprays?
Straight into the center of the room at the cage.
Okay, so well, maybe not necessarily like in their mouths, but is there something that we can put to shield them for a second?
A shield spell might do it.
Is there like any is there anything else in the room?
Yeah, there are a number of big metal plates here.
So why don't we just kind of build like a is it all directions that it gets spit at or spit from, or is it just like
It's two.
just two of them? Okay. So we could technically like buy them a half a second or whatever.
I would also like to mention that with Gromik being as injured as he is, he might need to be like at least picked up by someone. So someone with a high strength would have to help him.
All right.
Well, that's not me.
Trell, you got an inspiration point, by the way, for eating those guys. Hey, it's role playing in line with your character. That is definitely a thing, a Trell thing. All right. So, Trell, you do suddenly realize something almost head smackingly obvious. Onyx is stone. All right, give it a shot. Hope it works. You have 4 rounds before the acid sprays. Roll wisdom, see what happens. All right, so let's hope the magnitude is enough. Yes, you close their mouths. However, now they're starting to rumble.
They're gonna explode.
Yeah.
All right,
Right.
but you've got Gromek free.
Let's get out of
Yay.
here.
Most of this place has been emptied out. This was apparently a death trap. You have 4 rounds before the pipes explode. Do
All
you
right.
want to try to search for information or just escape?
How
Varg,
long? Go ahead, Mark.
Varg's just gonna go ahead and like start helping Gromik out of that cage.
Okay, you've got him.
Arius will stay behind and look for information because he does have Dimension Door, so he can get out in an instant.
Okay,
Um,
excellent.
and Kara's
Yes.
gonna help get Gromek out as well.
Okay.
So
He's delirious. He's like, "You cut your hair."
And Varg's gonna remark, yeah, and you've got your whole body messed up.
You're fluffy. He lays his head on your shoulder.
Aww.
It's just, I get that a lot.
All right, so Arius,
Mm-hmm.
you are searching. You find a small office.
Okay.
Everybody else, y'all are headed out, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so Arius, you have 2 rounds left. You find the office, you search it, um, and you find a series of blueprints,
Mm-hmm.
gnomish blueprints.
Ooh, very.
Unfortunately, you don't read gnomish. They're for ballistae and they are for bombs.
Okay.
And you also find some letters in Elvish, and
Okay.
the seal is uh, from one of the seals on it is from the woman who was your nanny when you were a child, an elf named Taramilla. Um,
Okay.
and apparently she is some kind of assassin. She's been living with your family for years to prepare to slaughter the whole family.
What was the? Remind me of the name again.
Taramilla.
Terra Miller. Okay.
All right, the place is starting to shake. You have 1 round to escape
Yep.
past dimension door or try to. Okay,
Dimension door.
roll to beat a 10 with your intelligence. You appear right next to Trell. However, everybody make a dex check because you're having to run from an exploding city. All right, everybody makes it. You run. You've got Gromek in a fireman's carry Varg. That's what I'm picturing. And y'all basically, the entire mountainside caves in on itself. And noxious green vapors from whatever that acid was are erupting. All right.
We're gonna get Gromek to a safe spot, and Varg will use his healer's kit on him to like fix him up a bit.
All right. So I'm gonna say that's all happening. So we're gonna let you all camp here to recover a little bit, and I'm gonna let everybody level up.
Ooh.
Yay.
So congratulations. Um, that was fun. I hope you all had as much fun playing this as I had running it. And we've still
Yeah,
got
I
a
did.
whole bunch of content to go through. So
Very cool. Well,
That
I'm
was lots of fun.
I'm glad to be back.
it's so good to
Hey.
have you back.
It
And of course,
is.
I get to like barbarians are some of my favorite characters in fantasy literature. So anytime I get to describe them smashing someone's face, it is a joy. Ah, and of course, you will probably meet some old friends next time, and hopefully continue to enjoy as things. By the way, Varg,
Yes.
your short bow, since it has been with you since the time you were a tiny pup, um, I'm gonna let you name it, but it is now a short bow +1, +3 versus I'm gonna say orcs. It has the Orc Slayer ability.
Um, okay, so the +1 goes to what?
It's +1 when you're shooting both hit and damage to everything that isn't an orc. If you are fighting an orc, they take it's +3 hit, +3 damage.
Okay. Yeah, because I was sitting there thinking about it because like you're not worrying about the range, and the only reason I have two bows, a long bow and a short bow, is primarily because I was thinking we were going to do like that range thing where short bows are for like short to medium range, while long bows are medium to long range. Um,
I often do that. You usually stick back and do that. But also you're a ranger, so you don't take disadvantage for point blank shots like most other people do.
right.
Um, because I'm a ranger. This is what I do. why would
Yeah.
I? Why would I miss this? Um, and so that's one thing. Also, if your character has a mundane weapon that they have been carrying for a long time, like
Like
Kara, do you?
I
Go
still have my
ahead.
quarters. I say I still have my quarterstaff.
That's just what I was thinking.
Yep.
Um, I would say that by now it's been enchanted by your deeds to be a staff +1 and +3 versus undead
Okay.
because you were tainted with that Orcus juice early on. Um, so yeah, I mean, like I said, what do y'all think of that? It's an idea I got from another game. I kind of liked it. It's got that high fantasy kind of feel to it, like but this is the bow that killed so and so.
Hmm.
That kind of stuff. So,
Yeah, I
I
was
like it.
I wasn't very sure like if we could have done that because my I did have a I was gonna like when we first started the game and we were like thinking about making the characters. I was really thinking of like having like Varg's primary bow be pretty much like a family heirloom that like he's had for like generations, passed down through generations anyway. And like my plan was since I didn't know if we could do that or not, we just left it as normal. What I could think is like if we ever
mhm.
went to the Feywild to visit his family, because he said like I mentioned, the pups would be um, opening their eyes soon. Like he could give it to one of his little brothers or
Oh, yeah. You will definitely
um,
get an inspiration point for that.
um, yeah. I don't know if anyone like notices this or not, but you notice that Varg does not talk about brothers or sisters, like other than the younger ones he's just had. Like he doesn't have any his age. Like that was because like that was like one of the things I was also going to like bring up at some point, like something that his parents like are very heartbroken about because of it. But he was the runt of the litter, but his brothers and sisters actually died shortly after they were born, so he was the only survivor of the first litter they ever had. um and so like I didn't know if like we could incorporate that in some way to like his family, to like give them some sort of like story or something, or with his
Oh,
mother be-
well, honestly, something I would do is since you have these Icelandic names, just look up what would like the last brother or something like that be, or last son or something like that, representing you are the last of that litter.
yeah,
That could be super cool.
yeah, with the names I gave them, as you know, his mom's name's Hadi, um
Hmm.
and then his dad is Skull, which is obviously the Nordic names for the two wolves by Odin's side, I believe.
Hmm.
um, and then his name was just blatantly made up with ancient with a Nordic, with two Nordic words to give him a very perverted name. um, but so I'll probably like look into that, definitely like something like Nordic or
Yeah,
Icelandic to kind of like name the bow or something. um,
yeah,
so it comes with a +9 attack. So for anything other than an orc, that I can just make that a +10 because it gets a +1 to it.
yeah.
And then but if it's an orc, it gets a +3, so that would make it like a 12. or something, I guess.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Okay. All right.
You know, I will be brutally honest. I don't really pay much attention to your modifiers very much. What
Ah.
I do is I make certain things easier for your character if it makes sense to be easy. Like, Kara is a beast at hand to hand combat. Trell is like an artist with blades. Them trying to, I don't know, throw knives is probably not in their skill set. Uh,
Right.
whereas someone like Jolly or Oslin, also Oslin, I'm just going to give you like some advantages as a halfling to throwing knives and stuff because it's something that that halflings used to have, and I kind of like it. So,
That's cool.
like the idea of Oslin chucking a knife into somebody.
Yeah.
So, yes. Well, the long sword is probably what is like the biggest thing you killed, Trell?
That bulldog demon dog thing when we first met Alaric.
You were. Yeah,
Or when
you were.
oh wait, oh yeah, it was an undead minotaur. Was that you or was that because I remember that fight I did like some sort of like overpowered thing. But
You did the overpowered thing and Trell finished it, is my
okay.
recollection.
All right.
So
Yeah.
I would. Oh, okay. So it doesn't. Okay, so cool thing. Um, since you killed a Minotaur with it, instead of making it like Minotaur Slayer, which would be boring, what if that sword, once per session, you can use it to infallibly find your way through a maze, or just point to something and find it? Because that was a power Minotaurs had. Yeah, and you can, of course, come up with the name for it and all that. So definitely name your weapons. Feel free to. Arius, you command the warp and weft of reality.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is like, pray, meditate. You're like, what's this do? Zap. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed running for you, and we will continue this next week from your camping spot.
Awesome.
Indeed.
Awesome. Sounds
All
good.
right. Take care. Take
Take
care,
care.
everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Good
Bye
night.
guys.